Bienvenidos a Tutoriales con la Miss
y con Garnacha, mi bella asistente.
El día de hoy vamos a iniciar una serie de videos acerca de técnicas artesanales de estampado que están súper bonitas e interesantes. Y en esta ocasión vamos a hablar de una técnica que tiene más de 300 años que utilizan en la India, la cual se llama mod printing o estampado con lodo, así es. Así que quédense con nosotros porque esto va a estar súper interesante.
Right, so here it is, the locally available black clay. It is available close to water bodies, pond or lake. Now what they do is, they make paste of this clay. What they do is, they put this black clay at one of these corners. You see it here? And then put limestone water. Okay, come close and you'll see the limestone. Limestone is one of the minerals which is available in the mountains. So they put this clay on this corner and soak it in limestone water and leave it for one night. Now when they leave it for one night, this clay becomes very soluble. It will become, soluble, and it will become very flexible. And then they will crush this mud by their feet. Not using any machine. They will crush this mud by their feet. Once they get a paste of mud, they will take the mud here. You see this net, right? On the net, they will put the mud paste and then start filtering the mud paste. So all the dust and the unwanted particles will stay at the top, and you'll get the paste at the bottom in that container. So that's what, and that's how you get mud paste. A very authentic process. Now, very surprisingly, they cannot use the same mud paste for more than 24 hours. So if any mud paste is left for today, they have to throw it. They cannot use it next day. So it takes good amount of time, and there's a lot of wastage as well, but they still follow the authentic process. And one thing that you will notice everywhere throughout this tour, now in India, every village has electricity, right? But still these guys are not using any technology basically to ease up their work. They're happy not to use any technology because they understand that the day they use technology, they may increase the production, but the value of what they make will reduce. So everything is done using their hand or their feet for making black clay, right? So this is how the mud paste is made. Now we'll see what they do with the mud paste inside. So mud paste is being made. That's there. Now the printing starts. The printing starts with a white piece of fabric like this. This is a white piece of fabric. So this white piece of fabric is laid on the table, and then the mud paste is used, and these kind of blocks are used. Now if you notice, these are very thick blocks. They are not very fine. Because mud paste itself is quite a thick paste. It's not a very fine paste. So they cannot use a very fine block for mud printing. And most of these blocks used for mud printing, they are not very fine. They are thick blocks. So, right. So white piece of cloth, a thick block. Thick block is dipped in the mud paste, and then this block is applied on the fabric like this. This piece of fabric could be very long, right? And they work on the same fabric for a long time. Now there are a lot of times when they put fabric over fabric, and there are chances that the mud paste will get applied somewhere else as well. So when you sprinkle this mud paste, you put it like this, and it will not touch or it will not hamper the design of the blocks. That's the whole reason why they will use. So for drying the pattern, number one, and also to avoid getting the mud anywhere else on the fabric, right? Once the printing is done, they will take the entire fabric and leave it in open under direct sun to get dry, right? Once the drying is done, they will take it back in their workshop, then put another design of mud printing. So it's
So they do that for each color?
Not each color, yes, they do it for each, but also for each design. Also for each design, they will go dry first and then come back again and then put the mud print on. And if anybody makes a mistake, it ruins the hard work of all the people engaged. All these guys come from the same community, right? And most of them, rather absolutely most of them, they're all relatives. They're all relatives. And how they have divided their work is, one family would do, you know, mud printing, one family do just the drying, one family will just do the printing, one family do the boiling. So that's how they have divided the work. So if one family makes a mistake or one person makes the mistake, the entire fabric is ruined. So effort of like 20 people are wasted. So it's need a lot of patience, and mostly you will see the person who is putting the block on, they're generally ladies. It is considered that ladies have more patience. It needs a lot of patience. So most of them are ladies. The men usually are engaged in drying process or coloring process, or absolutely. I mean, they're also engaged in printing, but in mud printing, they're mostly women. And then once this is ready, this is how it looks. It's a very good design. And on one design, they may use one block, they may use 2 blocks, they may use 3 blocks, depending upon the design the person has ordered.
Muchas gracias por ver este video, espero que les haya gustado. Si así es, yo los invito a que nos regalen un like, que nada les cuesta, se suscriban a nuestro canal, hay cosas bien interesantes y vienen aún más cosas interesantes en el futuro próximo. Y si tienen alguna duda o comentario, aquí les dejo nuestro correo debajo de este bonito gatito para que nos escriban. Muchas gracias, que estén muy bien, nos vemos en el próximo tutorial.
En nuestro siguiente video veremos la técnica de estampado con sellos o block printing.